What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I will be continuing my last video of Shang Chi, except now we're going to be talking about my top 10 unanswered questions and certain theories that I have coming out of the movie and where they could potentially go with sequels, spin-offs, crossovers, and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's get right into it, starting with question number one. For question number one, it had to do with the fight scene in the Fight Club. We had Abomination versus Wong, and like I briefly touched about in my last video, I am wondering what is going on with Abomination. One, how he's looking different. Like, could they say that he was stuck at the raft and then because it was underwater or some shit, he evolved to look like his comic book self, where he's like a little more tentacly and looks almost like a fish or some shit. And on top of that, how is he able to just roam free with Wong if he's supposed to be a villain? With that, let's move down to question number two. For question number two, it's a smaller question, but it is, how strong do you think dragon scale armor is in comparison to vibranium? In the final battle scene in Ta Lao, we saw that the weapons that the Ta Laoians were using were made from dragon scales, and the armor that they were wearing was all dragon scale. And I was wondering, in terms of like a strength comparison, what is stronger, vibranium, dragon scale, or like, you know, how strong is it in comparison to other armors that we have seen throughout the MCU? For question number three, it has to do with a simple line that Shang-Chi's aunt said. She said that the Mandarin won't be the only person who has tried to come and open that soul-sucking gate, and that others have tried before him, and every time they've tried, they were able to stop them. So my question is, who do you guys think could have potentially went over there and try to unleash the soul suckers? For question number four, it has to do with my boy Iron Fist. It is, do you guys believe Kung Lung, the ancient city that he's from and that he protects, is somewhere in the same dimension of Ta Lao? And I say that because, one, Iron Fist and Shang-Chi are very similar characters in the sense that they're martial arts experts and, you know, they're rooted within Kung Fu and all that shit. How sick would it be if, like in the sequel, the movie takes place in that dimension and Nan says, oh, we got to go to this this part of the dimension, this country or whatever, and that's where we find Iron Fist and he's fighting off the Hand or some shit within there, and that's how they intertwine Iron Fist into the Shang-Chi mythology. So just a little theory I had. I thought that'd be pretty cool if they can incorporate that. But with that, let's move down to question number five. So for question number five, it revolves around the actual 10 rings and their individuality. Within the comics, each individual ring had its own specific power. Some of them were able to manipulate the elements. Some of them were able to shoot fire propulsions, cold propulsions, a lot of different things that the rings were able to do. Whereas within this movie, we only saw them work as like a whole. You know how he would propel them all at once, or, you know, he would have that lightning effect or whatever it was. He could use them to fly. So my question is, do you guys think in the future movies we see the 10 rings, will they be able to showcase the individual powers that they have, such as those things I mentioned, or do they only work in unison and they don't have individual powers like within the comics? For question number six, it also revolves around the 10 rings, and it is, how powerful do you think the 10 rings are considered within the MCU in terms of like a mystical artifact? Are they as powerful as Thor's hammer? Are they destructible? What are they made of? So with that, let's move to number seven. For number seven, this revolves around the second post-credit scene that we got, where Xiling is now going to be the new head of the 10 Ring organization, and she is training now. She has women warriors, male warriors, and all alike. I personally think she's going to continue her dad's work, just maybe not as ruthless as he was. And I say that because throughout the entire movie, she was talking about how she needed to establish her own empire if her dad wasn't going to give it to her. So let me know what you guys think is going to happen with the 10 rings. For question number eight, it revolves around my girl Captain Marvel. In the post-credit scene, my girl had to dip. So, question for you guys, what do you think it is that she had to deal with? Obviously, it could be revolved around the events of her movie and how she had to get out of that conversation so she can go take care of whatever's happening. But what do you guys think the threat is? For question number 9, it revolves around the first post-credit scene again, and it is, where did the 10 rings originate? They're not vibranium, they're not the star alloy that Captain Marvel has known. It's really just up in the air onto what these rings are, and I have 2 theories. Theory number 1, they are some form of future tech. They could be coming from the timeline where King the Conqueror came from, and this could be just simple technology in their time. Somehow it got dropped in the past on Earth to be found by somebody and then to see how they use it. So let's say like He Who Remains, he drops them off here on Earth, and all he does is watch to see how they use this technology. Do they use it for good? Do they use it for evil? Do they try to reverse engineer it and propel themselves even further with technology, or what? And theory number 2 is, I believe these could be some kind of celestial battery, in the sense that the Celestials that we've seen, at least in the Eternals trailer, they are these huge beings built-in within a huge armor or whatever. And to me, it almost feels like the Celestials aren't actual physical beings. Kind of like the Watcher in What If, how he's just kind of like a presence that's there, but he doesn't have like a physical form. He's just kind of like within the stars. I feel like that's how the Celestials are, and the Celestials are just a bunch of built-up energy, and the way that they can travel and move around is within those suits that are the celestial armor. And we can say that maybe the Mandarin rings, the 10 rings, are somehow the engine to that big ass machine that is the Celestials armor. So let me know what you guys think. So for question number 10, it also revolves around the 10 rings, and it's similarly to what I just talked about, but it is, who do you think is on the other side of the transmitter? I don't think it matters on where it's going. It's a matter of who it's contacting. Is it contacting somebody from the future, Kang-esque, or is it contacting a Celestial? And here comes some more Celestial bullshit. But let me know, who do you guys think is on the other side of that transmitter device? And how are they going to be on our side, or are they going to be an even bigger threat than somebody like Thanos? So let me know what you guys think. Those are my top questions. Let me know if you guys have any questions on the movie, or any questions that you can answer from my questions here, or any theories that you guys have. As always, you can best support the channel by leaving a like, sharing, and subscribing. If you want to personally chat with me, you can follow me at Mr. Jalapeno13 on Instagram. You can follow me on TikTok as JabJala13. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.